Raise your hand if this was an easy.
Weak.
Okay.
If I did it right, then it was okay.
Okay, how will we know that these claims are right?
You can't.
We can't?
It's so.
It's so open? Okay, so hold on. I'm hearing all those things, and I think those are good. I think those are very valid. But let's kind of channel that in a positive direction. How do you know that a claim or an assertion or an opinion is right?
Commentary.
Commentary. Okay,
Yes.
there we go. So we got some commentary behind it. Yes, good. Alec, what else?
Like if everything's an argument, then like it's your opinion. Well, no, it is, but like you could turn it into like an argument and then explain everything in your commentary. So like it can't really be wrong if it's explained wrong.
Right. Yeah, it can't really be wrong. I like the way you said that. It can't really be wrong if it's explained well. Are some things easier to explain than others? Yeah. Like some opinions are easy to back, right? So I don't want to get too political, but I'm sure if you said to certain people, if you kept your audience in mind, right? Trump is a terrible person, he shouldn't be our president, that would be a pretty easy claim to back up. Yes? I mean, granted, people would disagree with you, but that's a pretty easy claim to back up no matter what your personal opinion is, right? And I don't want to get political, but that's just an easy example. So as you're reading these or hearing these and we're talking about them, keep that in your mind, that all of these, it's your opinion on the picture, right? So I know pictures can get a little bit hokey, and I definitely agree with that, but in a way it makes it almost easy, right? Because every claim is going to be valid. It just depends on how you support it. So if we see, and I haven't read them yet, but if we see, for example, someone saying that because Henrietta and Day are standing side by side, they should be seen as equals and important, and Day should be important, right? Rachel, why'd your eyebrows go up?
Because I never thought of that.
Okay, right? Because maybe, and you wouldn't think of that, right? But could you see how someone could say that? They're standing side by side, they should be seen as equals? Would you agree with that, based on your reading in the book? Would you agree?
Yeah, but I can see it, but I don't.
Okay, you could see it, but you couldn't agree. Maureen, say that one more time.
I don't think it'd be like, I don't think you'd be able to find enough evidence to back it up.
Right. But you could argue it, right there, because they are.
Yeah, but it would be hard.
It's one
Right.
of the things where you can see the argument.
Right. Right. So keep that in mind. Does that make sense? So some are going to be easier to argue than others, and them standing side by side, they should be seen as equal. They deserve some recognition. Probably not an argument you want to make. You can make it, but you probably don't want to make it. Okay. Do we have a volunteer who wants to go first? Read their claim to us. Be brave. It's okay.
I'll go.
Okay. Thanks, Hannah. Which one's yours?
The black one.
Okay.
The photograph of Henry relaxed and her husband, and the fact that it is creased and well worn shows how meaningful she was to her family and how they cherished her.
Nice. What do we think about that? What's her opinion? Just summarize it for us. What's her opinion? Gabrielle?
Her family cherished her.
Yeah, her family cherished her. And she was very, meaningful, right? Where's her evidence of that? A little bit of a hint of evidence. Maureen, go ahead.
That the picture was creased and well worn.
Yeah. Good. What would her commentary be? No.
Yeah, that was
So
like,
what?
whoa.
You're like, wait. What would her commentary be if that was her claim? What else would she want to say about that? Because we have some evidence, it's creased, it's well worn, right? It looks like it was almost folded in half, that line, yeah. So what else could we say about that? What do we need to say? Maybe not necessarily how you would say it, but what does her commentary have to prove? Kat?
It has to prove like how, okay, yeah, it's creased and well worn, but like how does that make it meaningful?
Yeah.
So she could say like, oh, it's probably like wearing around for them.
Mm-hmm.
And shown, not just put away.
Right. So I like that Kat pointed out, how does creased equal meaningful? Because that's almost what the counter argument would be. Right? Some could argue creased means it was tucked into a pocket and forgotten about, it doesn't necessarily mean it's meaningful. So that's something that Hannah would have to prove to us, right? Morgan, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is that where we could put about the wallet point that we made yesterday, or whatever, is that like where we would put it in the commentary for that?
Absolutely. So the wallet goes there, and maybe we can even make some connections between, has anybody read, I think it's a piece by Alice Walker, it's called Everyday Use? Okay. I don't know why I have, but there's this piece by Alice Walker, it's called Everyday Use, and that argument that Kat was making that this is meaningful is an argument that Alice Walker makes in that piece, and she says that heirlooms are meant to be used. So like we were talking about with your grandma's china, maybe you get it out once a year, right? And you use it that one time. Alice Walker makes the argument heirlooms are meant to be used and remembered and not just thought about on Christmas or Easter, whatever your happy holiday is that you pull it out, right? So I think that connection would come into play here as we're showing, because it's priest-born, it's supposed to be used, Henrietta's supposed to be remembered, right? Anybody inspired by anything from the book because I said that? What's Scoot's overall argument? How does this connect back to Scoot's purpose in writing the book? Okay.
She like wasn't just a science experiment. She was
Family loved her, right? Like Kat said, she wasn't just a science experiment. Anybody else? How does this connect to Scoot's purpose in writing this book? Rachel?
She wrote it to like tell about the family, not specifically the scientific side of Henrietta.
It's supposed to be. Right, everyone knows Henrietta is Gila, right? She's not just Gila, she's an actual person who deserves to be remembered for being a person. Good. All that commentary makes sense for this? We kind of saw what her claim was. Here's the evidence, it's creased, right? Why do we care about this? Connecting it back to the purpose. All that commentary. Nice. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah.
Or something like it?
Yeah.
All right, good. Make sense? All right, let's try another one. Who wants to go next?
Okay, ours are like the exact same, basically.
Oh, perfect. Are you this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the old warning, obviously cherished photo of Henrietta and David, show that these people were loved and
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very similar. So you can map it the same way, and that makes sense? Perfect. Very nice. All right, good.
I think mine's a little more vague.
Is this yours?
Last one, yeah.
Okay, can you read it out loud for us?
It says the photo of Henrietta David Lutz provides insight into the relationship of the family based on the quality of the
This almost seems like it could be a claim for an entire essay.
That's why, because
Yeah.
because I used that evidence of commentary, like I did one evidence on the relationship and one evidence. So I did this really fast, I guess.
Yeah, no, like a whole response. That's okay. So provides insight into their relationship and family. Okay, so map me out from here what each paragraph would be.
So
just to make sure.
the first one I did for my evidence, I did one evidence, the quality, and the other one, the clothing, not the family relationship. And then I talked about how the quality of the photo and like the clothing shows like their relationship. So like I connected it back to them.
Okay. Is that organization making sense to everyone for an essay? If this was a claim for an entire essay?
And if it was just a paragraph, I could have
Oh, yeah, definitely. Any suggestions? Do you agree with this? Do you feel like this is a strong opinion?
I
Think it's good? Yeah, I'm not saying it's not good. Anything you would add? Change? Yeah,
think I would just maybe just say like, because it's kind of not saying like if it's like a good or bad, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
just say like what you mean about like what it says about the relationship and to show that it was a good relationship.
I agree with that. Because if you read this claim, do you know that this person read the book necessarily? No. Right, shows insight into the family. It's just a little bit, too vague. Yeah, which I think that was good insight on your part that you recognized that as soon as you read it. So I think even just providing some sort of adjective here about what kind of relationship it was that you're gonna talk about would really show us that you read and understood what was happening. And that's just another, like, your claim should be a strong opinion about what that
Because
is.
in the, like, everything else, like,
Good.
how it was a good one.
Yeah, I think that's perfect, so that's the only piece that's missing. And I think it's perfectly okay to keep your evidence separated like this and then tie everything back to whatever type of relationship you're trying to prove they had. Nice. All right, and then green. Thomas, is this yours? Reread it.
Yeah, but they're the same thing as the first two. In the photo of Henrietta Lacks and her husband, the quality of the photo and the crease in the middle shows that the photo is cherished.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? What's his main idea, Jordan? What's he trying to prove to us?
That they were well loved by their family, same thing.
Yeah, this photo is cherished, so they were well loved. And we're gonna prove that using the quality of the photo and the crease. What did you mean by the quality of the photo? I'm just curious.
It just had like a lot of cracks in it, it was like black and white.
Oh, okay, yeah, I like that. So maybe, I mean, because quality just seems like a little bit of a big word, you know, the color of the photograph maybe, because you talk about the crease here, so you know, instead of talking about like the crease so many times, maybe do the crease in something else, like color. Good. Do you feel better about claims? Because I feel like based on this, you should feel pretty confident. That's your opinion on the photograph. Like what the author's trying to get us to believe by seeing this photograph. Kat, anything? So it makes sense. So even though we had 6 different groups up here, most of us kind of went with the same angle, which I think is kind of cool, right? So it's showing you that hopefully your opinion is validated because the creases do kind of show this, and then the way you prove it might sound a little bit different, but essentially you're making a good argument because other people thought the same thing. So I think that's kind of cool, and you should feel good about that.